Hey y'all, welcome to our farm.
Come on in for a tour, folks.
Meet our satisfied customer. This farm has the best product called butter. You can put it on toast, you can put it on noodles.
Okay, let's
go.
Let's go.
Come meet our cows.
I like cows.
This is where we get our milk to make the butter.
How do we know it's safe to eat?
Our milk is chilled, then pasteurized to remove any microorganisms.
We use selective breeding to make sure it's healthy.
It's
Utterly
delicious.
delicious.
You can put it on potatoes, you can put it on veggies, you can.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Cave Hill Dairy Virtual Chat. I'm Brittany with Discover Dairy, and today is going to be so much fun. We've got Farmer Courtney on standby. We've got great questions coming in on that chat. Thank you so much for finding that and getting involved. And we've got two very cute calves, Petunia and Rosie, ready for their close-up. This event is part of the Adopt a Cow program. More than 48,000 classes and 2.1 million students all joined this program for free, thanks to our generous and incredible supporters, the Dairy Alliance and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. And I know many of you are already really excited for next year. So go ahead and mark your calendars because enrollment opens on May 1st. You can go to discoverdairy.com/adopt when registration goes live. And because this is a live event, we want to hear from you. Go ahead and drop those questions. Tell us where you're watching from, and let's fill that chat with so much energy. Speaking of that chat, let's check that out to see where you all are joining from. So let's open that up here. And let's see, one of the first folks that joined us today was from Richmond, Virginia. So hello and good morning. We're so excited to have you on today. Thank you for joining us. Let's see, we've got some folks who are just excited to be here. Hey, we're excited to have you here too. Awesome. Thank you. We have Miss Varner's class from Hopewell, Virginia. Hello and good morning. Thank you for joining us. Let's scroll down here a little bit further. We have Mrs. Aren's class from Culpeper, Virginia. Hello and welcome. Excited to have you. Let's go down and do two more here. We've got Miss Carrie's fifth grade class in Amelia, Virginia. Hello and good morning, all. Thanks for joining us. Some fifth graders here today. And then we have Mrs. Lee's second graders in Hampton, Virginia. And they're excited to get a sneak peek of Cave Hill Dairy and to get a chance to talk to Farmer Courtney. So we are so excited to have you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Continue letting us know where you're joining us from and use that chat as well for questions. We'll make sure to pull those questions up and answer them in the second half of our time here with Farmer Courtney. Speaking of Farmer Courtney, we are so excited to introduce you to her. So, hey, Farmer Courtney, how are you doing today?
Hey guys, how are y'all today? I am standing in a pen with a group of calves, and that is a good thing.
That is.
This is Gracie. She was not on the project, but she is one of my cow's calves and will not leave me alone. So you will probably periodically see her just appear
That's
like now.
Right?
So all
She's
cows
definitely
are lovely.
right. Exactly. She's going to come be a snuggle bug with you. Now, for anyone
Yeah.
that's joining, and if you don't follow Farmer Courtney on social media at all, she is a little bit laid up right now. She's mending an injury, a leg injury right now. So she is keeping herself at a spot where she can lean and relax, while we are also going to have that camera, of course, over on the calves as we talk about them too. So just wanted to help explain where we're at, Farmer Courtney. We're glad to see you standing and upright and definitely on the mend and recovery. So thank you so much for still making time to connect with us, even though you've been on the mend for the last couple of weeks. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I'll let you take it off, Farmer Courtney. Let's hear just a little bit about you. What's your role on the farm, and a little bit about Cave Hill Dairy.
Of course. So I am Farmer Courtney. I am the sixth generation dairy farmer here at the farm. I run the farm alongside my dad and granddad. And as of actually this past summer, I am officially a co-owner on paper now. So it's all
Wow.
official and such. So the three of us run the farm. My main priority is older heifers, so our breeding age heifers that are anywhere from about a year up to about 18 months,
Okay.
and then the cows. That is my main responsibility. That's what I normally take care of. My dad's responsibility is the baby calves. He absolutely loves taking care of newborns and getting them a good foundation. And then we have another guy that takes care of this age calves that we have in front of us here,
Okay.
feeds them twice a day every day. And then my granddad, he does just about a majority of his job is just tractor work now. He is 88 years old, so
Wow.
getting around's a little more difficult for
Sure.
him. But we all work the farm side by side. Like, even though those are our main responsibilities, like, I help my dad any chance I can. Dad helps me with whatever I need. So since I've been down the last couple weeks with my leg, he has stepped up and done most
Yeah. Oh, hopefully we can.
of the
Farmer.
milking.
There we
And
go. Farmer
yeah,
Courtney's just
so
having some glitching. We'll let her.
opinion on this, or what's
There
your
we go.
opinion on that? And that's just how we've been. Our farm was started actually in 1749. So we've been here quite a while.
Yeah.
um, yeah, so we went back through and we were looking at some family stuff, and my farm started in 1749 here. And then in 1917 we started selling to the public. So we went from being a normal farm to a strictly dairy farm in 1917. So
Wow.
we've got some history behind us. But
Yeah. That's amazing. I love the heritage. I love that it's a family affair. And I think that's awesome that you were able to, right? It's like step into this position with your family. And like you said, congratulations, officially take part ownership in all of this. And what a big accomplishment for you. Farmer Courtney, I was curious, did were you in middle school or high school thinking this is exactly what you wanted to do? Or did your goals and dreams shift?
So my goals and dreams definitely shifted. I have always been on the farm. There are pictures of me on the farm when I was like 18 months old. Um, so I've always been here doing whatever. But I was a huge softball player growing up. I was a pitcher, a catcher, third baseman, like basically whatever I needed to do on the softball field, that's where I went. And I
Gotcha.
loved it. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to go into sports medicine. Like, that's going to be my goal. And then in high school, I was kind of like, you know what? This really isn't worth it anymore. So I don't
Yeah.
really want to go to school for sports. I kind of really want to be on the farm. And I got into dairy judging, and I got into showing calves. And that's just where my life took me.
That's awesome. Awesome. Very cool. I love that. Thank you for sharing your passion with us and just sharing your farm. We've absolutely loved getting to follow you the last couple of years in the program. And of course, we've loved getting to know our two cuties that we've been following this year. So if we're able to attempt to try and find them, maybe our camera crew, I know you're going to kind of stay put, but if our camera can try and get closer, that would be awesome and get an update on how our calves are doing.
Yeah, so Petunia is right, and the camera should be on Petunia now,
Oh,
96, 97 Frontier.
gotcha.
And then Rosie is over in the corner. And I love the fact that you guys love these calves because they're the two most challenging calves I have ever had to work on with this project. Petunia here does not know how to stay clean. She
Of course.
would, it didn't matter how many times a day I put fresh bedding in her stall. It didn't matter how many times I would wash her. If she could get in the dirt, she was in the dirt. There were multiple times she would let calves just poop on her face. Like, she never knew how to stay clean. And then I
Right.
had Rosie back there, and Rosie likes to jump, and Rosie likes to run. So at one point, I was standing straight, and I'm short, okay? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I am only 5'4". I am not a very tall individual. This calf cleared my head. I was
Oh my
standing up, and she
gosh.
just jumped straight over me. And I was having
Oh,
like, and someone was coming to the farm that day, and she's like, "You've got a calf out." I'm like, "I'm not even gonna try to catch her. When she gets hungry, she'll come back." So I left
wow.
her a bucket of water, and it was in like the milk buckets that we use. So like she thought it was milk, and I left it on her like on her pen, and I was like, okay, you'll come back to it, whatever. And I was gone for maybe 10 minutes, and I come back and the bucket's empty. She drank it and then ran away again.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
but they are doing great. Petunia looks kind of funny right now because she's shedding out her winter coat because this is
Aha.
like I think the first year that we have done this where I'm not in either my bibs or a sweatshirt. It is
That's
actually in the
true.
70s today.
Mhm.
So we're getting I don't want to say this is Virginia spring because we have like false spring and everything else in this lovely state of ours because one day it could be like 90 degrees like it's supposed to be tomorrow, and then over the weekend it'll be down in the 30s again. So
Mhm.
we're getting to where it's starting to get warmer. So she has like a reddish like curly coat right now, and
Oh,
that's because she's just shedding it out. um
gotcha.
Rosie has already shed hers out. It's kind of funny because
Okay.
some calves will shed it out like right away, and other calves it takes a little bit longer. And I really don't know the science behind that. I just assume it's where everybody's different, not we're not the same. So,
Sure.
but yeah,
Yeah,
so she looks a little funny.
absolutely.
That's where that's coming from. But they've both grown. They are like best friends, and it's kind of funny because they're not standing together now. But the entire time that we've been like behind the scenes with this chat and kind of getting ready for it, they've been like glued together in the corner as much as they can be. So
Oh, of course. They're gonna try and hide on us. So I know
they always
it's
hide.
certainly a test for our camera lady Elizabeth here, but hopefully we can try and get kind of close to them. And we'll just
We're
slowly sneak
trying.
up on them. Yeah. Well, they like their privacy, right? Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm sure that made it quite interesting to get photos all year, Farmer Courtney.
Yeah.
let's let's see.
Yeah.
So when both Petunia and Rosie were born, they were right around 80 pounds. And then I know at the most recent update, Rosie was a little bit smaller. She was 410, and Petunia was 435 pounds. Any idea
Yeah.
now that
So
we're about a month later how big they are now?
they're both right at 500 pounds. We actually weighed
Wow.
them the other day. So we gave them their vaccinations. And I was telling our camera lady, I'm dealing with a calf right now. Sorry, guys. Um, I was telling her when y'all got here, we're ready to put these calves out on pasture because the
Mhm.
grass has turned green and they're ready to
Yeah.
go out. And so I had to fight with my dad to keep them in this pen for this chat because the pasture's like right across the way from
Ready.
here. And dad's like, I've already checked the fence. The fence is ready to go. These calves are ready to go. We vaccinate them. We dewormed them. So the deworming process is that we give them what's called a dewormer. And it's so when they're eating and they're getting close to the ground, they don't get like any kind of worms or any kind of intestinal diseases while they're out on
Gotcha.
pasture because they've never been on pasture before until now.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
but they're like ready to go. So right now they're right at 500 pounds. Like I said, we just weighed them the other day when we vaccinated them. And it was funny because we actually took care of them the week before I got hurt. So dad and I have been like butting heads about when to move them for the past like 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
So but he kept them for me, but they will not be in this barn tomorrow. They will be out on pasture. So we winter all of our calves in a barn of some sort, whether it's this
Okay.
barn, which is our calf barn. It was built in
Mhm.
1987 and it has different
Wow.
sections to it, and that's based on age and size.
Mhm.
And so they are in the final part of the barn because they're all about almost a year old now. They'll be a year old in September, so
Okay.
they're getting on up there. So
Yeah.
they'll be put out on pasture now for the entire summer. And then let me see, they are September calves. They'll actually be out on pasture for at least until next fall. The next fall is when they will be brought over to be bred on. So they've got a
Okay.
they've got a long time on a pasture. The one pasture we put them in during the wintertime because there's a barn we can put them in if the weather gets
Oh,
bad. Which this
nice.
winter down here we had like a bunch of snow and then some really
Mhm.
cold days. So
Right.
I know you are up in Pennsylvania, so you're probably used to that. But down here, it was like these like single digits and like foot of snow we keep getting are just this is not okay for this Virginia girl. But the calves
Yeah,
did great. So
that's awesome. They
during
were
that
ready.
time when it was well, yeah, and during that time, so the back of this barn has a bunch of windows on it. And whenever it gets cold, we shut those windows and we deep bed everything. So right now everything's kind of lightly bedded. They actually just did this barn Saturday, even though it
Gotcha.
doesn't look like it because calves make a mess like It's ridiculous how quickly a barn can get dirty. But we deep bed everything up to about the third or fourth bar on those gates.
Okay.
And so they like snuggled down in this barn and like all of them at
Aw.
one point we thought we were making them too hot because we just had like steam coming out of the barn that was coming off of them. So, but the calves did wonderful this year. And even though, yeah, Petunia and Rosie were not the greatest of calves because they both had their little quirks, they did great this year with everything. They let me
Good.
take their measurements, which I was shocked because they just did not seem like they wanted me around. But
Is one of them currently showing her our butt in the corner? Is that one of them?
yeah,
Is that her?
that's
Yeah,
Rosie. And
that's
that's
Rosie.
normal. Like every time I would go to take her picture this year, it was just I'm gonna stand with my butt looking at you, and I'm like, that's not what I need a picture of. And then I would move her, and she would move herself. So again, I was looking at her butt.
Oh my goodness, Rosie,
So
you are a silly little girl there. Oh my goodness. So, well, we're really glad to hear, they weathered the winter really well. I know I definitely remember you guys saying it was significantly colder than you're used to in Virginia.
yeah,
So I'm glad to hear they did a great job. And so you just mentioned the term deep bedding, and I just want to help explain. That just means you
yeah.
just put like layers and layers and layers of straw essentially, right? So it was really deep and
Right.
thick for them to snuggle
So
in.
usually one bale of straw, so a giant 4x4 round bale. So it's
Okay.
4 foot tall, 4 foot wide, or
Hmm.
since it's a circle and whatever, you can do those kind of geometric
Sure.
measurements and such. It usually takes one in this barn, but when we deep bed, we use two or three.
Okay.
So we essentially use a full bale per
Hmm.
two groups, where
Hmm.
normally it's just one per four. So we double up everything because it got down to single digits for like a week here, and it never gets down that cold here. And I
Wow.
remember like I was dressed in like 8, 9, 10 layers, and it was hard for me just to walk. So we were making sure the calves basically just could bed down when they weren't eating. They would come out to the front of the barn where it's open. They would eat and back and snuggle down as heavy as they could. And I was trying to take pictures to show everybody this, but it was so cold and my phone just kept dying. And I was like, well, I guess we'll just have to imagine how this goes.
Oh my
So,
goodness. Well, good. I'm so glad to hear they
but
they enjoyed their winter and we are now in spring and they get to go on pasture. So when they're on pasture, Farmer Courtney, what does their diet look like? Because obviously they're going to have access to grass. Do you shift what they get to eat?
yeah, so right now they are on what's called a it's a pellet type grain, and it's 18% protein, so it helps them kind of grow and everything else. Um, and it actually helps their coats too, so the shed out and such. And right now, while they're in this barn, they're getting the protein pellet twice a day, and they're also getting hay twice a
Gotcha.
day. And then they get a little bit of corn silage if we have any leftovers from where the cows didn't finish their meal. So when they go out on pasture field, they have access to the pasture they will be going to is about a 30-acre pasture. So that's 30 acres of just
Hmm.
grass. And they also will still be getting fed the pellet that we feed them, but it'll only be once a day. Instead twice a day because they have so much grass to eat. And we also keep hay bales in the barn for them, because there is a little area where we can put a hay bale in, and we keep that there in case they want it. But cattle eat a lot of
Sure.
grass. Like I wish that I had looked up like how much they actually eat, but like my cows literally sometimes they just leave the grain in the trough because they just are so
With
consumed with
grass.
grass. It's kind of funny. Like, and it's weird because like I have literally had a group of calves that just have not come up to the feed trough for like 2 weeks, and then you're like, okay, what's wrong with these calves? And you try to bring them in, and they have like pot bellies where they've been eating so much grass and hay that they're not hungry. So
Well, that makes
what
sense,
is the
right?
purpose?
Hey, if they're
So
enjoying themselves
yeah,
out on pasture and enjoying some
and
grass,
then
that sounds good. Sounds like some good grass.
yeah, and they have plenty of, and we always have water for them. Like they have 4 different waters they can go to that are
Hmm.
automatic, and we check those 2, 3 times a week to make sure they're working right. And they also get fed a mineral, and the mineral helps them with the essential minerals and vitamins they need in order to grow. And that,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
my cat's just all over me.
That's all right. She's enjoying the spotlight too. So, Farmer Courtney, we're having some really good questions. I want to try and get to a couple of them here. We had one come in, and they were
Yeah.
curious. How many stomachs does a cow have? Can you talk about that a little bit?
So it's kind of a trick question because a cow has one giant stomach and four
Uh-huh.
compartments. So you have the rumen, which is the giant stomach. Then you have the abomasum, which is similar to a human stomach. The reticulum, which is where food goes to first and it gets broken down. And then you have the omasum.
Gotcha.
So,
And they all have their own
yeah.
responsibilities, all to digest the food that they're eating, which is part of the cool part, right? Like cows can eat a lot of things that we
Yeah.
can't and that we don't get nutrients from, but cows can.
Yeah. And like that white calf in the
Hmm.
picture, he's chewing his
Hmm.
cud right now. And so when they eat, they actually regurgitate it and chew it a second time to help with digestion.
Wow. That is cool. So it doesn't they're not chewing bubble gum. They're chewing their food again.
No.
That's awesome.
Sometimes I wish it was bubble
Right?
gum because that would be easier to explain, but you know.
Yeah, it does sound a little bit gross, but hey, it's exactly how they can
It's part of
actually, yeah,
calves.
use the food and get all the nutrition out of it and keep growing big and strong and eventually one day for the girls produce milk. So that's awesome. We had a question come across.
Yeah,
We were
not
just
this big.
curious, how many cows do you have at the farm?
So, when we break it down, I am milking 120 cows, but in grand total from baby calves all the way up to milk cows, I have right around 300 to 350 animals on the
Wow.
farm.
Okay. That's a lot to keep track of.
So we keep all of our cattle. So another fun fact about my farm is I haven't bought cattle since 1935.
Wow.
In 1935, we bought 3 heifer calves from Pennsylvania, and every single calf on animal on this farm can be traced back to the original 3.
Wow.
So everything here was homegrown and homebred. So we keep all of our boys. That's what the orange tags are that are in your ear. That signifies that that is a boy,
Uh-huh.
and he gets sold in 2 years. In 2 years, he will actually go to Kansas, and from Kansas, that they buy them. I don't know where they go after Kansas, so I just know they go to Kansas.
Nice.
And the yellow tags are the girls. They stay
Uh-huh.
here until they aren't here anymore, basically.
Okay.
So, and what I mean by that is that they stay until they either stop giving milk or they get too
Sure.
old
Just
or
natural
I
progression
just
of
like
life.
everything just stays
Sure.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just like,
so it's
right?
a full
Just
life
like,
cycle.
just our normal life. And what is the average lifespan of a cow? So on average, how long are they on the farm for?
So I don't know the average. I know on my farm they're like 8 years old before they leave, and I think that's really high because normally, like I know
Wow.
some farms where it's like they're 4 when they leave, or 5 or 6, and mine are
Hmm.
8. And in the oldest cow I have right now, she's actually 12.
Wow.
And my cow, she was 11, but unfortunately
Oh
she
my
left me last
gosh.
year. But she was,
Sure.
they live a very long time. My dad and I,
Oh.
so when you look at cows, like you can like with artificial insemination and stuff when it comes to like breeding and genetics, like you can pick and choose what you want to see in your animals. And my dad and
Sure.
I have always been heavy on health traits and longevity. So, and I'm the type of person that if I can tell a cow isn't feeling well or something, like
Hmm.
I'm not going to make them keep like giving milk if they're not able to.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
dad and I
We
have,
want to do what's best for them. Hmm.
yeah, so our farm, we do a really good job, I'd say, overall, of just making sure that the cows are comfortable, they're healthy, they have the health
Yeah.
traits that they need. So I think y'all are
That's
looking at
awesome.
Rosie right now, or the
Yeah.
one next to her.
Hi. Yeah, and so that's a great. We had a question that they were just curious. Is Petunia and Rosie are they healthy? And they
Yeah.
certainly are acting healthy. They're running around. They're
They're
they're getting
jumping
all
over
excited.
me.
That's
No, they're
awesome.
both really healthy. If they look kind of funny right now, like when we go from winter to spring, especially on my farm, some of our
Hmm.
calves will like their stomachs just kind of deflate. And that's
Hmm.
just where they're dealing with the temperature changes because cattle are
Sure.
incredibly sensitive to temperature changes.
Hmm.
So, like Petunia, she's shedding out her coat right now, but she still has kind of a decent belly on her. And then Rosie, she looks a little bit skinnier right now, and that's literally just the weather change. Overall, like she's chewing her cud like all the rest of them are. She's
Hmm.
eating every day. We keep a very close eye on who's eating and who's not eating. And if we
Sure.
see any little thing wrong with them, and it could be they were just the last one to come to the feed trough or they were just a
Right.
little bit slow today, we're in here with a stethoscope, a thermometer, any kind of antibiotics we think they might need, making sure that everybody is okay. So,
That's awesome. I love that. Always looking out for them. Always making sure we're giving them the best care. Perfect. we had a question come across. We were curious, do the cows take baths? Do they ever get a bath?
So that giant calf that I keep fighting with, Gracie, that's now in the camera because she left me to go to my lovely assistant. um, she has had a bath.
Okay.
I started a 4-H dairy club in Botetourt
Oh,
County last year, and we took a few calves to the fair, and she was one that did go. So the ones that have gone to the fair have all had baths. The
okay.
rest of the cows have not. I have a couple cows, like the cows kind of do when it rains, just because they like to walk
Sure.
outside and stand in it. Because I don't know why cows like to stand out in the rain. They also like to stand out in the snow, which really like annoyed me because even Rosie and Petunia would do that. They would just, if it was snowing outside, they would be like, "Oh, I might have this nice bedded barn area here, but I'm gonna go stand outside where it's snowing and just let it fall on me." Because they're cattle. But
Of
for the
course.
most part, I don't actively wash them unless, like I said, they went to the fair. So,
Gotcha.
and that was fun. So,
They're getting all dolled up for their showtime.
yep.
But yeah, I mean, cows in general, right? I mean, they'll lick each other. They keep each other clean. Like you said,
Mhm.
the water and the rain from outside keeps them clean. And of course, you guys are keep cleaning the bedding and the barns.
Yep.
So just keeping the farm clean in general keeps them clean. Nice. Awesome. Let's see. We are pretty much out of time here already. I don't know where our time went together,
It was
but
fast.
yeah, it was very fast. I'm trying to just see if I can. Oh, you know what? There were some more questions in general, just about comparing. Just asking about like their habits. So, like, what does their day look like? Are they just chilling all day? Do they eat all
Pretty
day? Do they
much.
sleep all day? What's their day like?
So pretty much they get fed at 6:30 in the morning. They get their grain. They all come out to the trough. They all eat. They have access to water and hay all day today. If I wasn't like Gimp, we would walk over and actually see all of that. But we'll just kind of pretend it's on the other side. They get their grain at 6:30 in the morning, and then they have like an hour to eat, and then we put hay in there for them. And then all day long they just hang out where they are now, and they just kind of hang out next to each other, and then they get
Nice.
fed again about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and they come up, they eat, they have about an hour to eat, and then we put hay on top of it, and they can eat the hay when they want, they can get a drink whenever they want, they can do whatever they want pretty much. It's a
Wow.
pretty nice life. Like I wish I had that life because they don't have to worry about anything. Like the milk cows are the only groups of cows that have to worry about anything, and they come down to the parlor and they're down in the parlor for like 9 minutes getting milked inside, and then they get to go out and do whatever they want. So in total, they work like 20 minutes a day. But other
Wow.
than that, like our cows just kind of chill. We know pretty quickly if something's not right because we'll hear them. They'll bawl at us, um,
Mhm.
because cows
Mhm.
like to be heard sometimes. But other than
Oh,
that, they don't grow or they get sick.
sorry.
Kind of tell from this calf here, she's totally not stressed whatsoever. So
Cool. Awesome. I love that. I'm glad to hear that they're doing well, relaxed, hanging out. I'm glad to see that they're doing so well. We did have one question that I can just help. We were talking about how old they can live, and
mhm.
saying 8, 9, 10, 11 years. And just to help put that in perspective, approximately, I mean, obviously there's some wiggle room here, but approximately one cow year is about the same as 10 human years. Is that about
Right.
right, Farmer Courtney? So your
I would say
oldest
so.
cows are defying the age limit of humans, which is really awesome.
Yeah, they always say that basically at heifer age they're teenagers already. That's why this one is being sassy.
I love that. Well, we're going to start wrapping up here, Farmer Courtney. A couple people, I'll pull some of these questions up here, are all asking similar questions, and we'll tie this into the last question. We're curious, what's it like being a farmer? Do you like being a farmer? What is your why behind choosing to be a dairy farmer?
I always liked this question, and I don't know if I ever answer it the same way every time. But I live by this quote by Ray Bradbury, who is one of my favorite authors. We used to read a bunch of his books when I was a kid, and especially in school. And it was the things you do should be the things that you love, and the things you love should be the things that you do. And when I was a kid, I took that quote to heart. And that was also kind of when I decided to come back to the farm. Because if you can't tell, I kind of do really love my cows. And I love the farming life. It's it's in my blood because I mean we've been here forever, but it's something that just it makes me happy. And also, like, I have one of the coolest jobs in the world. I get to like, how many other jobs can say that?
Yeah.
So that's why, because I just it's what I want to do. It's what I love to do, and it makes me happy knowing that I'm supplying food for the world. So
Yeah. What an awesome privilege. And we truly could not be more thankful for you being willing to do that. And we know it's a day in and day out job. So thank you so much for your efforts and your dedication to the industry and just truly allowing us to be able to enjoy that delicious, nutritious, healthy product, milk, cheese, ice cream, yogurt, all those good things. I definitely need those things in my life. So thank you, Farmer Courtney, for all those good, delicious, nutritious things. Before we tune off, is there anything else that you'd like to share with everyone today?
yeah, I want to thank you guys for all the letters. I also got some birthday cards that I had meant to like send a thank you card, but at the
Oh,
time, like, I had gotten kind of injured and hadn't been able to get out and get things together for it. So just thank you guys
yeah,
for all the notes, all the messages on Facebook, all um, the letters, everything all together. Like, it's always great to interact with you guys.
yeah.
I truly enjoy it. I hope you guys have enjoyed following along with Rosie and Petunia. Even though, yeah, they were a challenging group, but it kind of gave me a different thing this year, because usually, like, in the past years, the cabs just don't really care. They just do whatever I need them to do, whatever. This year it was a little bit more of a challenge, but it was fun because it gave me a little different kind of a perspective this year on how things were going to go.
Yeah.
So again, just thank you guys for everything you do. Thank you, Brittany, for everything, because you have done so much for this program over the years.
Oh,
And for those that are returning to this program, like, I say, hey, sign up again in May, because it's just a fun program to be a part of.
it is.
And yeah.
Oh. Oh, thank you so much. Wow, this was truly an amazing visit today. A huge thank you to you too, Farmer Courtney, for opening your barn doors and just letting us meet Petunia and Rosie up close. And really, of course, thank you all classrooms and teachers and students for joining us today, asking such great questions. I know I see tons of questions we never got to, and we're so sorry about that. But we love the energy. Thank you so much, and just for that excitement that you brought today. Poor Elizabeth
And if you
and
guys have
cameras
more
getting eaten.
questions, like, come to my Facebook page, send me a
Oh
message.
yeah.
I'll always answer questions.
Awesome. That's oh, thank you so much for that open invite. We appreciate
Yeah.
that, Farmer Courtney. We hope you had fun learning about life on the farm and seeing how your adopted calves grow. If you love this experience, as Courtney said, go ahead, mark your calendars. May 1st is when enrollment reopens for next year. You can go to discoverdairy.com/adopt. And truly, from all of us at Discover Dairy and Cave Hill Dairy, thank you for spending your afternoon, your morning with us. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep learning, keep exploring, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye, everybody.